This is Drew Spence, the creator of the 4/6 comic series, doing bullet points where I go over some of the details about it, based on the feedback from Trickshot. People want to see me in the video, and feel like, I guess, you want to see the guy who makes this stuff. So here I am, testing out the new webcam hardware and software. This is episode 2, which is called Sins of the Past. Sins of the Past is the phrase, but once again, it's a play on words. We're talking about well, you'll see inside the story. Oh, another thing people were talking about is they didn't want spoilers. So I'm not going to explain everything that's going to happen in the story. I'll probably go to a point, so there should not be spoilers in this one. I'll probably take it pretty far into the episode, but not give you like every single detail. Alright, this one is the debut of Jackie 5 and her robot companion Beta 1. Those two are sent on a mission to find and track down a hiding war criminal. Okay, this shot here, I wasn't supposed to show you the entire team, so you were going to read an episode and find out, oh, there's another member. You read another episode, oh, here's another set of members. So you're supposed to be surprised as you went through the season because you didn't know who everybody was. But, in the reworking of it, I felt best at some point to just reveal the entire team early, and, you'll find out more who they are as they appear. This opening shot was reworked several times. I had one heck of a battle getting past the censors because in the beginning, the book was going to be a bit more violent and have a lot more nudity in it and full curse words, everything. But I took so much heat for that in the beginning just to get it out that I ended up just, cleaning it up. You know what I do with the curse words, with the futuristic spelling of them. And of course, like I said in the previous clip, no one is speaking English in the 4/6 universe. It's basically being translated into something that you can understand, so that you'll see phrases that you should be able to recognize to follow the story, but no one is actually talking like this. That's just the way it's being translated for you. But the opening shot was Jackie actually at the end of an encounter with her farmer friend, the informant, and basically we changed that around, and I was just so frustrated after days and days of submitting it and rejections that I started off the book with both the characters with their back to us. And that, sometimes when I read my book back, I go, oh, why did I begin the book with everyone facing away? But yeah, that was the purpose of the shot. That I was just so frustrated with all this editing I had to do. So it begins. This is the circle that's pulling up. Beta 1 is bringing in their giant starship, and it has a very powerful grav well generator, and that's what's shaking up the valley. That their ship has such a powerful system that it uses that he believes it's retro rockets, but it's actually not. And when you see that she has to ride to go catch the ship, when you see how far away it is, now you understand the immense power of their ship, which is sort of it's going to come up later on in the series. You'll see more and more. But this is, them two leaving. I love this shot. This was very nice with the mirror reflection. This is actually a very small mirror that I had to just resize to a massive scale to put it on the wall, but it really looked great with this reflection of the two of them kissing here. Man, from the very beginning, I was like, I have some crazy ideas for these shots, and very happy with the way it came out. I love her expression. But this is after making episode 1. I said I kind of want to do something a bit longer and more involved for episode 2. So I kind of took the story a little bit more build up. It wasn't just going to be a straight action shot. So this one actually builds a little bit more. You get to know a little bit more about her. But this is her riding the black mare horse. Just riding it across the land, and the circle pulls in from above. This is her. This part right here, the Jaffa or Yifi on the lifter. Beta, this is a strange fact, but Beta learns through auditory. So when you teach someone or you learn a new word by just reading it in print, you're more likely to mispronounce it when you go to say it, because you've seen it written, so you know what the word is, you know what it means, but you're not really sure how to pronounce it. And then if you only heard or hear words that are spoken, you know what the word is, you know how to say it, pronounce it, but you don't know the spelling. So, you know, in a strange twist, Beta is learning from listening to humans, and he does scramble a lot of the words and letters around because they're sort of breaking the rules and not programming him. So he's programming himself. So everything he does has been a learning experience, and he's been mangling words and unsure of how things go. So she has to keep telling him, reset your language pack, because the stuff that you're adding is messing up other words. But Circer isn't even the name of the ship. That actually is going to come out later. But the ship is like super ultra reconnaissance something vehicle, but it was written on the side of the wall, and he just read it as Circer, and it kind of stuck. But that's what that is. So this is actually the same robot from the cover. Let me go back to the cover. And this is the same robot, but this is when he puts on his outer shell. So he'll put on a shell, a humanoid shell, when he heads out and does operations. But this is the same robot here and here. But he puts on an outer covering and gets dressed, is what, you know, is kind of funny. But this is him explaining to Jackie that, you know, that they're going to have to ride in on vehicles and can't just go looking for this guy, you know, using the ship because of what it's doing to the valley. It hasn't been adjusted for the gravity of the near planets. But this is them about to take off and head out riding. And this is that. You know, some beautiful scenes. I was just having a good time just illustrating and experimenting. This is a nice hint that there's some kind of creature that size where the skull could be that big. Like, what was going on this planet? You know, dinosaur bones is one thing, but a gigantic human skull just says so much about an unknown history of this planet. So there they are riding across the landscape. Been riding for a while. I love these shots. Oh man, that's one of the most fun things to do. But you know, she says, you know, why can't we find the base? He's saying it could have shielding, and they come across what looks like some kind of traveler and a smaller traveler. You know, the Beta has a cute little joke here, and you know, she says to him, you know, they want us to follow them, but stay alert and be prepared to kill anything that moves. You know, and he basically says, you know, that's my resting state, meaning like I'm always ready to be on. And I like that little arrogant statement from him, sometimes unintentional. So they get to the homestead. You know, you can see their vehicles parked outside, and they go visit the guy. And then they find out it is a father and son whose wife was taken by these bandits. And they believe that this bandit may be the hiding war criminal who has changed his appearance, changed his life, changed his manners in an attempt to hide out. So they're going to do a twofold mission. What I like about this is Jackie's demeanor, where he says, hey, these guys took my wife. You know, there's some really bad people. That's probably who you're here for. You know, this war criminal dude. And what's funny is Jackie's just like, you know what, we're going to go get your wife. Like, we fix things. You know, I love this. We'll fix this. You know, that's her attitude, to just get involved off cuff. But, you know, as it turns out, the wife is long gone. You know, she's been gone a long time. And, you know, Jackie's going to go see this guy. So this is them pulling up to the base. This is another forced perspective shot because, you know, I didn't have a set this large. These are like actually regular steps for like a regular sized person. Like, you know, these are regular steps. But when I shrunk everything and pulled it really in, it looks like there are some massive ruins here and this giant arch that they're above, you know. But this is a great use of forced perspective again, because again, it's just me placing my camera and then trying to change the scale of everything to make it look they're really high up on this ridge looking down on this base. What a lot, you know. One guy sitting there hanging out on patrol with the gun, another guy here, and of course it's all important for the future. But they come up to the door, you know. This is another one of my funny jokes where he says, you know, Davidge, you know, you wake up. And, you know, she's like, excellent security, because the guy is sleeping, you know, on his post. So, you know, he goes, we got company, alien woman and a robo-droid. And she's like alien because this guy is like, you know, has green skin, which is also going to come up later. But that's kind of funny. But Jackie bluffs her way past the guard, you know, and says they're minors. And they let them in the base. And now you're seeing a lot of people are sort of going on alert because these off-worlders are showing up. You know, they're not fully trusting, and he warns Beta, you know, mess around and bad things will happen. You get to see Rashida, you know, the sort of bodyguard henchman of the main bad guy, who's Redder Coltrane, which is what the first season story arc is composed of. It's mostly going to be about him, but yeah. So it's kind of cool, you know. She confronts the henchman and tells him, you know, she wants to make a deal. They give her a really ridiculous option, and you know, basically she heads out rather frustrated the way it went. So now she's gonna go back to Gleason's and possibly do a sniper shot and take out the Redder Coltrane, who, although the story's named for him, he really isn't their first, you know, really super powered bad guy. Like, this story doesn't start off with them facing, like, you know, these super powerful beings. Like, that's way into the future, and you know, you're gonna see everyone grow into their roles. But yeah, pretty much past this, we're getting into spoiler territory where the story turns to the left. But yeah, this is very nice. Took a lot of work to pull this one together. You know, this is the kind of thing where you're making rooms from scratch, which is really, you know, sometimes can be challenging to just start placing objects in a room and attempt to give some kind of space, some semblance of being a real space that the characters were inhabiting. You know, you don't want to overload it where it looks junky, and you don't want to leave it so sparse that it has that, you know, very basic, you know, what would be happening in this room. Every room is empty. There's no objects on the shelf. It doesn't look lived in. But I was very happy with the grungy look that kind of matched the entire planet. But yeah, it's a very dusty planet that they're on. That's one of the things that's going to come up. You can see the dust and smoke in the air, you know, as they're getting on the base. She's got to wear the breather to at least filter out the dirt. But yeah, this is episode 2, Sins of the Past. I'm going to probably try to keep the videos about this length. But yeah, thank you for checking it out. The comic itself is available everywhere on comiXology. It's on DriveThruComics. Pretty much everywhere. Print versions of it are available. If you just go to my main link, the Dynamic Universe, or follow the links inside the bottom of the video, you'll find links to buy them in print. This episode is inside the Redder Coltrane story arc, which is episodes 2 through 7. Is the story arc that is the big chunk of season 1, and that's where you can get this book in print, which is included in that collection. That's pretty much what there is to say about the book. Did I miss anything else? No, I think we're groovy. Yeah, 460 Annihilators, that's the name of the comic. You know, obviously we're sort of retro, so I'm gonna try to knock out a few videos back to back and try to get at least caught up, because at some point I want to get current with the episodes that are out now, so that we can sort of get the video to drop at the same time. But yeah, this is one of the longer stories. It's 30-something pages, and it was, you know, it was quite ambitious to go from the first one, which was a short little slice of action, and then to dump into a real big story that has, you know, a much larger series of events that lead up to the ultimate culmination. Behind this will probably be my music from Fallout Shelter. There'll be instrumental music playing behind this. That's what I suspect I would do. So if there's gonna be any question, where's that music from? It's probably gonna be something that I did myself. I'm not gonna be using anyone else's music unless I announce it or put something on the video. But that's it. I thank you for checking out the series. The support has been good. I really appreciate that. That season 1 book seems to have done something very nice, that everyone wants a big chunk of the story at once. I appreciate that. Even if you only buy an episode or 2, that's lovely. Oh, I have a Patreon. You're basically gonna, one of the purposes of the Patreon is obviously to support me in my work and help make this process better. Oh, I just thought of something I gotta tell you for episode 3. I'll get to that. But thank you for supporting that. That's a nice thing. Yeah, let me hurry to end this, because we're already at the about the 15-minute mark. I'm gonna go. I'll be back with episode 3 in a minute. This is 46 Drew Spence signing off. This is Bullet Points, behind the scenes look, and a bit more information of 460 Annihilators graphic comic. I'm out.